Hello everyone and welcome back to our Rogue Trader playthrough. It's episode number 54. Last time we ended the Anvers, finding out that they were a chaos cult because they talked about the cicatrix maledictum. In High Gothic it's like something end. So yeah, they're definitely chaos cultists, but we killed them off. Now we're gonna do Persona non grata, find the disgraced stranger in the Edaug-Ethanb bar in Footfall's Shadow Quarter. And then we got a couple of companion quests. Hunger's Hand, which means going to Janus. Hunt for Knowledge, which you can't do yet. Touted Spirit in Orbit. And Where the Shadows Are Deepest of All, which I'm starting to think is a Chaos Plague. Still haven't gotten the situation resolving itself yet. I assume it's going to take a little bit of time. Anyways. Get moving to the Shadow Quarters, Adeptus Amosecus. Double Tariff, come on mate, we've known each other for 8 years. Where'd you get these numbers from?
A new challenge for me?
I was hoping they'd respond, I guess not. Alright, let's get moving. Next stop, the Shadow Quarters again.
Victory awaits.
Let's see if this makes it work. Yeah, they're talking about my my destruction of Reichad Minor. Alright. Before I forget, I want to make a quick save just in case something crashes, and I'm also kind of curious. I don't understand why they do like 1 day, 2 hours instead of just giving it all in hours. It's a bit more confusing. But hey ho. So their prerogative. Let's move for the Adeptus Amosecus. Try to break out again. They won't risk it. They've learned their lesson. Oh, talking about the quarantined area. Tired of waiting for the situation to resolve itself. I should have just visited. Shouldn't have worried about the iconoclast thing.
Stand in my way.
Enter the quarantine zone. Okay.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
It's another Anvur leaflet. Doesn't matter now that they're all dead, but better pick them up still.
Victory awaits.
Alright, let's enter the Martyr's Endurance. Ooh. Is this the Martyr as in the ship, or... That'd be really freaking funny. Because wasn't the Martyr in the Clixus sector? Wonder what happened. See.
A new challenge for me?
Tech use.
My success is
To the floor you can see the remains of the void ship's life support system. It seems whoever dismantled the vessel decided to just leave it in place.
Follow my lead.
I don't know if it's a waste of space. They gave me goods.
Weakness.
Can't go down any further. Just be on the lookout for goodies.
None shall stand in my way.
As I said, let's be on the lookout for goodies. Goodies alert.
It's about time.
Medicaid. Stuck to the plates are lumps of sawdust, toxic waste that is sometimes passed off as ordinary nutritious starch.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Well, I'm not eating any food from here then.
A new challenge for me.
Thugs. What are you doing? Eavesdropping? Riza. Woman looks to be in her 40s and she is surveying you with interest. Her right eye appears to be almost black against her dusky skin. Left eye emits a greenish light filtered through the smudged lens of a prosthesis. Her arms are tattooed all the way from the base of her shoulders to her knuckles. Riza, looking for something specific? Buying or maybe you're selling? Don't be shy. Just ask old Riza. Just ask. Old Riza knows all kinds of folks. My boys will fit you anything your heart desires. I knew that Riza would, that this was the guy that the Grandpa Bokval said. Grandpa Bokval says hello. 5% discount on items from the Fellowship of the Void faction. Nice. Riza's face breaks into a broad smile. That old rascal. Thought he'd croaked in the mines a long time ago, but old man Bokval's still alive and kicking, you say? Me and him have been through a lot of interesting scrapes together. And oh, all the weird and wonderful things we've acquired. I love that. Just say stolen, I don't care. Bokval wouldn't send his regards along with just anyone. It's done him a good turn, and because of that, old Rise is going to give you a special discount. Who are these boys you work with? You heard about how the Clipper St. Cognatius got hit recently? The cargo was cleaned out, everything of value taken. Well, that was my boy's handiwork. An ill-considered confession. Confession? What are you on about? Old Riser just likes to embellish when she wants to make an impression. Nonsense she spouts in presence of important people. Call ourselves the Fellowship of the Void, an association of enterprising, like-minded people. The upstanding citizens of the Imperium rid themselves of possessions that are weighing them down. Sabelard's face twist in disgust. It would seem he has a rather strong opinion of the individuals to whom Riza refers to as Fellowship of the Void. Pirates, in other words. Riza plasters a shocked expression on her face. Oh, please, no need to be so crude. Your esteemed self no doubt is aware that Hieronymus preaches that asceticism is a virtue and that only by rejecting material wealth can we ascend in faith. I couldn't agree more. We are merely helping the servants of the Imperium to be a little more like Hieronymus and taking a small commission for our trouble. She's so just funny to me. What kinds of goods are you willing to buy? Tech is always best. If it's broke, no sweat, we'll fix it. Or take it apart, and if you score something so nasty that fussy everyday traders won't even look at it, fear not, just bring it on over, leave it to me and my boys to find the right buyer. Handling of sacred technology by lay persons uninitiated in the almost priesthood is a Category 8 blasphemy. Incriminating evidence of profane acts perpetrated by the unit named Old Rise has just been recorded for use in future judicial proceedings. Chuckles darkly. Do you mean to threaten me, Tech Priest? Well then, I'll keep a record of this conversation too. I wonder which of us will feel the harsh hand of justice first. Will it be me standing in chains before your brethren? You standing in an airlock before my boys? See what you have to offer. Just pretend that she didn't say anything. Navy swashbuckler, medkit, intoxicating, stim. I'll take that, and then the greatsword. Can't get anything else in my profit factor, but I can make some trades. Trade all my melee weaponry. Just get it off me. See, that is worth saving Grandpa Bokval. Here's J something or other. Oh, by the throne, that's him, isn't it? The poor sap who got his tongue cut out by the anvers. That's the one. I think he was from the Casablanca. Well, his troubles are over now. Oh, that's not J something or other? Or the Casablanca. Minus 100%. Upholstery of the dirty sofa moves slightly. A soft hissing be heard from the depths of the furniture.
Victory awaits.
Workers.
Attention to detail is the key to success.
Ah, right there. Okay, we were shown that cutscene for a reason.
Follow my lead.
G and a work.
It's about time.
Menu system of the Adeptus Amosecus looks eerily similar to the design of the internal scan of the fuel. I didn't get to read the rest of that. Man, what is it with the dialogue, dialogue thing, two people talking, going by so slowly, and then those things going by so quickly you can't even properly read it. A rogue trader could gamble away a planet, but I haven't heard of Chorda or I don't know von Valancius pulling a stunt like that. Gordei, Skatov. It's just rotten having no one to talk to. Leftovers of pitiful food are stuck to the sides of plates. Gordei, Skatov. Flabby man in worn clothes is sighing sadly over a glass of murky booze. Only when he looks up at you do you notice his eyes, large, piercing, and full of sorrow, stark contrast to his unkempt appearance. Could it be someone who actually wishes to keep me company? Allow me to introduce myself, Gordei Skatov, architectural historian. You look deeply despondent over something. What happened? Sighs heavily. Here I go again, pouring my heart out to have you disappear in 10 minutes, just like everyone else before you. But alright, here's the story of Gordei Skatov, the unluckiest historian in the Imperium. I was born 2 sectors away from here. My family is quite influential, which allowed me to dedicate myself to my great passion. The history of Imperium architecture. Spent a number of years studying every scholarly work there was to find on this art, and then once I had inherited my family's fortune, traveled and documented the development of architectural thought on different worlds. Until one day, oh that accursed and blessed day, until one day I came into possession of something quite special. Gordei pulls out what looks like a book or an album with a homemade leather cover out of his bag. Both the pages and the binding look well worn. Here it is, my undoing. This is an authentic booklet titled Dwayne's Design, one of thousands that were printed centuries ago in the time of Footfall's construction. Footfall's founder, Lord Parsimus, was obsessed with his creation's grand future. This booklet describes in detail what Footfall was meant to become upon its completion. Dozens of asteroids turned into glorious palaces and temples, massive bridges spanning the void itself, and the marvelous flying buttresses, the archivolts of the exterior arches, the elegant arrangement of balusters, and the interior. Polyphoras, 10 stories tall and more than 1 kilometer long, cyclopean light tubes that catch the light of Furibundus and use it to brighten the halls and the hearts of asteroids, stained glass windows and mosaics, bas-reliefs and statues. Grossed in his own description, Gordei stands up and starts tracing the outlines of arches and galleries with his hand. Adira blinks sleepily, barely suppresses a yawn, and starts looking around with a bored expression. Sorry, background noise. Give me a second here. Sorry about that, let's keep listening. Emerging from his reverie, catches himself, blushes slightly, and then loudly flops back onto his seat. I apologize. I got carried away, but you must understand how deep an impression this booklet left on me when my young self picked it up. Simply couldn't think about anything other than Footfall. I was ready to give up my life just to see this incredible station, and of course, no matter how hard my friends and loved ones tried to dissuade me, I still gathered all my savings and set out on a journey. It's no easy feat to cross 2 sectors, especially for a common citizen, albeit one who has some resources at his disposal. I had to change one ship after another, at times being forced to stay on transfer worlds, waiting for a vessel headed in the right direction, or for warp disturbances to subside. The voyage took me a total of 107 years, in real space-time, of course. For me, it was much less than that, somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 or 35. And then, after all those years, having spent all my savings, I reached my dream. What did I see? A dump in place of the exquisite portico, metal anthills clinging to the columns, the marble tiles pilfered by paupers choose as cladding for their hovels. Gordei hangs his head. It's been a dozen years since I came here, and I still haven't recovered from the shock. I had suspected that not everything from the booklet would exist in reality, but I never expected to see Footfall in such a sorry state. It is like stumbling upon the horrible decomposing corpse of your beautiful beloved. Argente's gaze darkens. The warp, like a shameless thief, is guilty of stealing the short span allotted to his servants, but what sense is there in spending half your life on such an enterprise, only then to lose your spirit and waste the remaining half on nothing at all? Your perseverance... Master Skatov should have been applied elsewhere. However, the fact that you succumbed to an indolence after your journey is far more deserving of reproach than your questionable choice of life goals. But you're an architectural historian. Is what happened to Footfall not part of its history? Gordei strokes his goatee in thought. Yes, Footfall's current appearance, slums fused together with the remains of majestic palaces, is a unique phenomenon. It would be curious to observe if other places have taken after it, thereby solidifying it as a new style of architecture, or if it still remains a local oddity. My word, you certainly know how to provide an unexpected perspective on things. Be that as it may, I just wanted to say thank you for hearing me out. For the dozen years I have spent on Footfall, not one person has hung around long enough to listen to my story to the end. Such a delight to have shared everything that's been weighing on my mind. I'm as poor as a church mouse, but I still have something to offer you as a token of my appreciation. After studying the booklet thoroughly, I discovered something interesting. A ciphered message scattered throughout its pages, taking the form of a riddle. It describes certain places of interest on Footfall. I believe it is the work of booklet's creators. What if these riddles lead you to something? A wondrous discovery. I will gladly share what I've been able to learn with you. Now try to make this wondrous discovery for yourself? I have, of course. But I'm an old man who's blind in one eye and can barely move his legs. I never found anything, but that doesn't mean there's nothing to find. Tell me about the places these riddles lead to. First location isn't far from here. It's a bridge that was supposed to go through the center of this district and into the void toward the neighboring asteroid. A couple of its spans were built, and even those lie in ruins. Still, if the cache survived all those years, it is there somewhere. Second location is in the Lantern of the Great Cathedral. A lantern is a small tower on top of a dome. You've seen Footfall's atrium, haven't you? The whole atrium is just the nave of the former little cathedral. The Liege's entire so-called palace would have fit inside what was meant to be naught but a single room. The great cathedral, had it been built, would have been even bigger. But alas, its construction was just getting underway when Dwayne died, and the work stopped. The lantern from its dome, however, had already been built and survived. It was brought inside the atrium and dubbed Chapel of St. Drusus the Warrior. And that's all I know. I wish you luck in your search. I must take my leave. Good luck to you. I was kind of hoping we could recruit him. Oh well.
None shall stand in my way.
Well, let's see if we can find... Okay, cutscene.
Rough day?
You have no idea.
I just might. That's the second bottle you've downed.
Jai Hidari. Falco sends his regards.
And what does that unholy scion of a Grox and a Brahan want from me this time? Oh, wait, I don't really care. My sole plans for tonight are drowning my grief in a sea of Amasak.
Who'll give you grief, all right? Get out!
Don't think so, Ashma. And tell Falco to come himself next time.
Well done.
Hidari, I am tired of your mess. Ow! Get some sleep. We'll talk about settling up later.
Okti Shireen, light of my eyes. Can't you see my soul is full of sadness? Have you no horse at all? Let go of your material concerns and let me grieve in peace. Have we met somewhere before?
We will talk with, this is Jay. Have we met someone before? The woman looks at you with the glassy eyes of a drunk, and you notice the 2 empty bottles that had been keeping her company before you arrived. She looks completely out of place in this dingy, smoky bar. The fancy attire, the abundance of jewelry, the implants plated with precious metals. Her appearance not only screams wealth, but also audacity, for only an audacious person would flaunt their wealth in a place like this. Well, we will talk with Jay, whoever this is, in the next episode. So yeah, Gordei, Skatov. that was an interesting conversation. I was kind of hoping that we could recruit him to the bridge, like give him, like have an iconoclast thing where it's like recruit him to be the architectural historian for my ship, both giving us an architectural history and then also starting to do it on other worlds. But that would be too easy. Alright, well, this is where this episode is going to end. Next time we'll get introduced properly to this J character. Until then,